guys, it's Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now, I'm very disappointed in Plarium on this event today. We have just had yesterday news about what we probably thought was going to happen, but just definitely confirmed now. This Freyja Titan event. Obviously, we've come accustomed to having some opportunity to get a soul for the fusion that we've just completed. And being so that Asgard Divided is such a big event, it made sense that we would get a Titan event, which I think is fine. I'm happy with the Titan event. I like the Titan events, especially when they're like these 2 to 3 week window. It doesn't bother me. That is not what I'm disappointed in. What I am disappointed in is the supposed bonus Summon Rush event that was attached to the fusion. So let's just have a quick look here. We've got 1,010 points in week 1, 740 in week 2. The usual 1,750 points available, and we need 1,500 to get the 5-star soul. So I'll be honest, that means we've got 250 points that we can skip. This is what always happens. This makes sense. Fine. None of this is the problem. The problem that I have is that they have put Titan Freyja points on this supposed bonus Summon Rush. Now, here's the problem that I've got with it. They made this event sound attached to the fusion, that this was a optional. You can either do this champion chase, or you can do the Summon Rush, or you can do this bonus Summon Rush. Those are your choices, right? 50 extra fragments to get. At no point did they say that there would also be hammer points available to the quantity of 700, 200 points. So 200 of your 250 spare points are in this event, which basically means if you don't do this summon event, you're going to have to commit to doing every other summon event, whether you would want to or not. And the main reason why I'm frustrated, because some of you might be thinking, well, they didn't have to tell you. They made it sound like it was attached to the fusion, and they made us make the decision essentially up front. It was kind of like going, well, you have all these fragments you need to collect. Where are you going to put your time? I chose to do the champion chase and the summon rush on the basis that I wouldn't have to do the bonus Summon Rush event, and I can save my sacred shards for the Freyja Deck of Fates event. That was the choice that I made. Some other people might have chosen to do this Summon Rush or skip 2 events. Well, now you're having to do potentially 3 Summon Rushes that you would never normally engage with, because normally people do not engage with the Tuesday, Wednesday, unless you're a bit of a spender, because you don't have the shards to be able to afford to do these things. They're now asking you to spend on this event, essentially, as in they're asking you to engage with this event or risk not being able to get the whole Titan event going. And the problem I have is not that they're asking you to do that, it's the fact that they made it sound like this event was tied to the fusion, had nothing to do with anything else. They made it sound optional as part of the fusion. Had they told us, oh, by the way, this summon event will also include hammer points, then people will make the decision. Maybe I shouldn't do the Summon Rush in the fusion. Maybe I should do this one, right? They would have made different choices. Now that choice has been taken away from you. It's just a little bit deceitful. It's a little bit on the edge, on the nose for me personally. I don't need these fragments. There is literally no reason for me to engage with this event other than to collect hammer points. And unless I'm willing to summon 3,200, it's basically worth nothing, because 25 points of my 250 spare points is very, very, very small. Even the classic arena takedowns are 30 points. This 25 points is not going to save me an event. If I pull 2 sacred shards, I'm just wasting 2 sacred shards on this event at this point. So not really too pleased today when I woke up to see this. I hoped it would just be an error yesterday. The fact they've snuck this in, I think, is pretty bad. Personally, I think this is really bad. I think it makes it look like this was meant to be a fusion event, but it was always intended to be a Titan event kind of event, and they probably should never told us. That's what I'm suggesting. At least that way, we would not be told in advance. I think that's the deceitful aspect that I'm kind of struggling with here. It's the fact that we made decisions knowing the information up front that are now, was like lacking information. It was lacking detail. But there we go. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Maybe I'm just off my rocker here. I've been fairly positive about everything that's been going on in Raid recently. This one is a bit of a sour note for me, personally. Now, obviously, this event has just started here. Let's have a little quick look at the Titan event. So 1,500 points. They have split the souls. I do think if you've gone for Thor and you've achieved Thor, definitely the 4-star. To some extent, you could probably just make a decision to sacrifice this Summon Rush and miss out on a few points and just not get the 5-star soul, because whilst the 5-star soul will help you from a hard mode, damage mode, or just getting more accuracy and getting more resistance. The effect is not that powerful for Thor. Thor is not going to, I mean, Nature's Wrath potentially, but I don't think he can debuff in, oh, he can debuff, yeah, Nature's Wrath. Oh, that's true. I'm trying to think of the blessings that really get powerful at 5-star, and a 5-star Nature's Wrath is much more powerful than a 3-star or a 4-star Nature's Wrath. So yeah, you kind of, if you want to invest in Thor, you need the 5-star. It's I say need. You want the 5-star because it's a significant damage increase for him. So yeah, it kind of creates a lot of pressure, but at the very bare minimum, the 4-star is what I'd recommend people get if you have invested or chased Thor, because this is where you get the crit damage, and the crit damage is the big value point, really. The 4-star for any damage dealer is the big value point. The 5-star is nice. It does add a bit of damage, but it's not as powerful as the 4-star. So I would say try to get 1,000 points. The rewards are pretty good along the way. We've got some legendary books. We've got some immortal soul stones. There's a mythical tome. There's lots of different things in here. The rewards generally are quite good. And it just depends on the event structure. Probably the Deck of Fate is not going to be part of this event because it's on for 2 weeks, so 14 days. The Fate Divided event is on for 35 days. I would be surprised if they put the Deck of Fate event on with Freyja at the same time as this Titan event. I would be expecting it to be potentially more. But then having said that, I'm thinking back now to what they did with the Rathalos. And the Rathalos, I'm pretty sure, had Fatalis on there with the Deck of Fate. And I remember because I had to go deep to get the Titan event points to get what I needed, and I ended up getting Fatalis. So actually, I'm wrong. Hindsight tells us I'm wrong here. Maybe they're actually going to do that. So we know there's a Deck of Fate coming with Freyja. That's what I'm trying to say is happening. So you need to really be serious about this summon rush here. You can afford to skip it all. Okay, you can afford to skip it all. You can afford to, like, if you're going to go 3,200 points, you might as well go the 4,500, right? That's what I'm trying to suggest. I would not say it's worth it. So I would just kind of forget this event and just be very vigilant on every other event and try to complete it all. Because if you go for this event, you're probably sacrificing the Deck of Fate event. If you don't care about the Deck of Fate event, then you can go for this event if you have the shards available to you. But it looks like a pretty good Titan event as usual. We'll have some events coming in here now. We'll have like the artifact enhancement. There's an Odin trial tomorrow. I will probably do a video on my team because I've now finally built a stage 30 team after kind of holding back. But stage 20 is still the best way to do these kind of trial tournaments. So they are like the most efficient way. There's also a bit of a sort of Unity champion feel going on this week. We've got a summon rush pool with all of the Unity champions. If you've got yourself a Teox, a soul for a Teox is very powerful. I've managed to do the Sand Devil. I won't buy these. I personally think these summon soul things are kind of worthless. They're not worth spending on, personally, just because I feel like there's too many options in the pool for you to get them. Where it's a bit better in the summon rush, in the prison pools, because you're getting the champion. You have no control over what the soul is going to be here. So I personally am a little bit less. I don't think these are worth spending on. And we do have this boosted 1+1 sacreds. Really, they are trying to get you to burn sacred shards ahead of the Deck of Fate. This is what all this event has been. All of the fusion, everything building up to it. It's all about trying to get you to burn sacred shards before you get to the Deck of Fate events. I'm here to tell you, hold steady, hold firm. Do not get tricked into thinking you can get something here. 1+1 is only good if you hit the 1+1 bonus. It might take you 20 sacred shards. Whereas if you hold fast, you can get yourself probably Freyja and a bunch of rewards in the Deck of Fate events as well. Because yes, the summon rush is pretty good, but until you start getting down to the 4,500 mark, you're not getting anything of any value. Right, 1 6-star speed is nice, but it's not really that crazy. It's only when you start getting to the 4,005 and 5,000 mark, these things become more valuable. And I would imagine you'll get equally reasonable amounts in the Deck of Fate events as well, especially if you can triple flip something in that kind of nature. Yeah, a bit of a negative video to start the day. I don't like making negative videos. I've been pretty positive lately, but this one just left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. I'm like, it made it sound like this summon rush was bonus to the fusion, but it seems to be always intended for this Titan event. And I think that should have been, somewhere it should have been told, because people would have made decisions about, like, I made a decision not to do this event because I didn't need to do it, and now I need to do it in that sense. But I'm actually going to skip it because I kind of just want to collect Freyja. I'm a bit of a collector. I know Freyja is not the craziest champion in the world. I know a lot of people have told me this in the past, in the sense that, oh, well, it's only Freyja, it's not the end of the world. But I think a lot of people would value and welcome Freyja, especially if you don't have Valkyrie. Freyja's a great champion to pick up. But let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about the Titan event? How is your feelings about this summon rush? Are you as annoyed as me or not? Oh, it's actually 100% more from ancient shards. Who knew? Snuck that in. 40 points per ancient shard. Still means if you want to get all 200, you need what? 4,500 divided by 40. 110 ancient shards on a sacred. Like, you know, they're giving you a boost to ancient shards when it's sacred, so they want you to summon. It's kind of weird. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below. How are you feeling about this? Am I just off on my own little planet here, or is this something you all feel right now? There is this event. We'll have to see what other events come out at. We know Dungeon Divers is pretty nasty. We'll have to see what the structure and the schedule is. We haven't had that yet. Normally they give us a little social media panel so we know what kind of events to expect this week. You can obviously have a little sneak on player and play as well. This gives you a bit of a heads up to what is going to be in the things. So we can see there's like a Fire Knight event, a Dragon event. There's going to be still a Champion Chase event on Friday. So we can expect that. I would expect the Deck of Fates to be sometime next week or the week after if it's going to happen. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.